What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Edgework Studios. Got a little something for you today. I'm going to sharpen one of these inexpensive Tosa Seki City, or Tosa, I'm sorry, not Seki City. I used to say that. Tosa carbon Japanese knives. Again, I'm pretty sure this is in Shirogami 1 or 2. It seemed hard, just like the other one, the Funayaki, but I haven't put it to any kind of stone yet, so it's just from basically a light feel and just kind of looking at things over. Looks identical, the grinds and even the maker mark seems to be the same. I'm going to start with the Shapton ROckstar 320 grit. Good stone, nice low grit, being the fact that this is white alumina. You know, so it's a good short ceramic stone. It'll do some good solid cutting on that edge. I was kind of worried about whether or not this one was going to be somewhat thick behind the edge as the Funayaki was, but it's not. Now, I did get the not Santoku, this is the Santoku. I got the Nakiri, or the Nakari, whatever, with this, and that thing, it's got a nice grind to it, but it is a thick boy. It's super duper heavy, and I believe that the balance point is right about there. So it's considerably heavy. And if you kind of give a little bit, I don't know if it'll focus here or not. If not, I'll just do it in the GoPro. But you can see how thick that is compared to this guy. Get over there. It's a lot thicker. I do plan to thin this out on my belt grinder, but I wanted to do something else with it first. The actual shape on this one is beautiful, and this one came sharp. This one did not. But anyway, that's what we're here to do today, is sharpen it anyway. I will be sharpening this, like I said, and thinning it, but I'm going to sharpen it in a different video at some point. So we'll set that aside for now. I wanted to show you something though. With the NSKs, they came with those little green pads that are a diamond abrasive. It's a resin diamond abrasive. It's designed for conditioning the stone's surface. Well, I'm like, wait a minute, you can buy those, I think. So I looked on Amazon. Sure enough, you can get them just like this. And if I have mine over here, just as a comparison, and I'm not saying this is what NSK does. I'm pretty sure that NSK maybe makes their own. I don't know. I would have to ask because it would be guesswork at this point. But you can see it's the very same type of thing. I will say that the NSK one that comes with it is a lot harder, maybe. Like the resin is more brittle, I guess is a good word, because this, which I cut out of one of those already, they're about the same size. This one is kind of flexible. It's almost rubbery, but it's also on a hook and loop back. So you can put it on a like a grinder, like a what do you call it, multi-tool or whatever. The 4-inch grinders. You can put it on there, and you can use it as that kind of way to polish stone. Marble and granite, things like that, or you can put it on a drill, high-speed drill, things like that. So anyway, I decided to give them a try. Now this one is the one that came with the NSK 200, and I couldn't really make out the numbers on the back. I know the one with the 800 said 400. This one I think said 200. So what I did was I ordered these. It came in a set of 3. And I was almost certain that it said it had a 200 and then 300 or 400 grit. So there's supposed to be 2 of them that were 200 and then 1 of them that was 400. They all look the exact same to me. So what I did was I ordered from the same company on Amazon for less money, about $19. I ordered a variety pack. So in this variety pack, I got way more than I bargained for. I got several goodness. Oh gosh. I got several. As you can see, I've already cut some out. But I got from all the way down to 50 grit. It goes 50, 100, 200. Put this in order here. 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1500, and then 3000. I looked at them all under the microscope, and they do have grit that is consistent, like larger grit for the 50 and finer grit for the 3000 and everything in between. I tried it out on my NSK. It cleaned and conditioned the surface, no problem. The 150, I'll show you in the GoPro real quick. Or I'm sorry, the 50. As you can see, at least I hope you can see, it's kind of speckled. You may not be able to make that out, and that's fine. But as it goes up in grit, this gets kind of less speckled. It is still diamonds, but there's less coarse diamonds. This thing scratched a stone. So anyway, while I got you here, I want to show you this beautiful piece. I have a bigger one coming. This is a stone that I have wanted for a long time. This is a Shiro. It means, Shiro means white. This is a beautiful, beautiful finishing stone. This one I'm going to use for razors. The bigger one that I have, I'm going to use strictly for knives. So the bigger one's going to be about a bench-sized stone, roughly. So it should be here Monday. I'm going to do a video with it probably Wednesday. I still have been doing the editing on the other videos I talked about, the REHOO and stuff. I discovered that I once again did I had audio loss. So I'm going to just dub it over probably and just do that. But that kind of put a damper on my plans to release that how I wanted to. But that's fine. That's just because I forget to charge these all the time because I get so busy. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Also a reminder for those that don't know, or just for those that maybe forgot, this Wednesday is the giveaway, I think. Is it this Wednesday? I'm pretty sure it's this Wednesday is the giveaway. So it's going to be for a Whetstone and for a Japanese knife, an inexpensive one, stainless steel. So all you got to do is be a member of this channel, or I'm sorry, a subscriber to this channel, which is free, and leave a comment on the video starting from 2 weeks ago until, well, today would be the last day you could leave a comment. Or this video would be the last video you can leave a comment on. And that's how I determine who is entered and make my drawing from that. So anyway, that's all you got to do. And then if you win, just send me your address and stuff, and I'll get that stuff out to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this boy. This bad boy. So this guy had a significant burr, and it was very unevenly ground. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice little bevel on it and get her started up here. Man, I've got a pinched nerve in my neck that is driving me crazy. So if I look at the camera weird, you guys will know why. I'm not just being weird. I don't know what I did. My wife calls it the family nerve because she gets it when dealing with her her family. Gets the exact same thing that I'm experiencing. So we shall see. For those that don't know, by the way, some people have asked me about these spring-loaded stone holders. Bernal Cutlery is running a Father's Day special, and you can get these for 26 bucks. So Bernal Cutlery out of California. Here's a better look at this guy. Very rustic. It is coated with lacquer. I will be using acetone to remove the lacquer. I'm not going to do it now. It isn't going to hurt to leave it on there for the moment. But yeah, that shiny surface, it really does protect it from rust. But as another person has stated, they don't really want that in their food because it will flake off at some point, not right away. And I don't blame them, and I don't want that either. So yeah, I'm going to remove it whenever with some acetone, probably later tonight or something. But yeah, just wipe her down with acetone and then wipe it off, and then you got a nice clean knife that doesn't have lacquer on it. I don't know if it's for a travel thing or if that's what they do just in general. All right, here goes the 320 grit Shapton ROckstar. So I can tell you this feels exactly the same way that that other one did. I have obviously a burr through and through. There is some need at the heel. That seems to be the going thing lately. It did not appear to be warped. That does not mean that it is not. This does, like I said, is relatively thin for what it is. But I will be thinning, and I do believe it could use a thinning. I don't know how well this will come across in this camera. But as you can see, it's not super thick, but it isn't super thin either. I don't think it's going to hurt it with food or anything like that, but I do want to thin it out just to go ahead and make it how I want. This is kind of, I'll show you what I like. This is one that I've been working on thinning. And as you will see, that is essentially a straight laser. It's hard to get that shot in focus, and I do apologize, but she is thin as thin can be. It comes to a nice, super thin wedge all the way up. Yeah, so we do have just a tiny bit back here. And I will be working on this, obviously when I thin it, be working on this area here. It's very rough. It's convexed actually. So yeah, it's kind of rounded off. I don't know if that was supposed to be that way, but I can tell you the Funiyaki that I got was not like that. But that's a Funiyaki. This is, you know, maybe this is how they do their Santoku. I don't know. Okay. That's good enough for now. The rest of that will go as I actually sharpen. Just go ahead and give it a quick little boop, boop. So how's everybody's weekend been? For those that do know, I mentioned on Friday my mom was coming home. It was successful. I did get her home, and she is feeling much better about where she's at. So she's got home health services that have come in to take care of her. So that kind of frees me up some. You know, I can do some things I have to do. I mean, I still do things for them, of course, but yeah, they're taking care of her health needs and stuff like that. And you know, leaving me to do stuff like their bills and things like that. So all those that have stuttering here. All those that have sent positive thoughts, vibes, prayers, everything, I do appreciate it. She appreciates it too. She loves being home. So it's very, very awesome. Just gonna go one more quick little thing here to make it even. It wasn't even like I like. We had some wide spots, and again, that could be due to pressure differences as well as differences in the actual knife itself, because as I've said before, these are very rustic. These aren't, a lot of time isn't spent on these. This one was $29, right, as an example. $29 shipped, so these aren't going to get a lot of quality control time on them, or are they going to care about the grinds? These are just super quick, cheap knives. Which is why I'm surprised that they are even the type of steel that they are. So it's really a good deal. I mean, finding Shirogami steel, 29 bucks delivered to the United States. I mean, that's pretty nice. So that actually, the burr has come off, or most of it anyway. That does exactly like all my other Shirogamis do. Well, Shirogami 2 anyway. They all do it the exact same way. It's not to say that other steels can't or don't do that too. I'm just telling you. 100% of the time when I'm working with Shirogami, it does that. What do you guys think about those diamond polishing wheels, huh? I think those are pretty cool. Like, whenever this gets a little built up, if it does, I'll show you. I'll use one to kind of clean it up a little bit. They're very good at conditioning the surface too, but they are resin bonded diamond. Like I said, it's that set there that was the 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 15, 3000. Like I said, it was $19 or $22 or something like that. Can't beat it. You can get several little, you know, little cuts out of it. It'll last you forever. I couldn't imagine probably ever needing the 3000 grit, but I mean, you never know. Yeah, so this is absolutely a wavy pattern. So this will go away whenever I flatten this out, but you can see, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it in the GoPro, but you can see where the bevel, you got like a low spot. Let me see if I get the better light. Yeah, I don't know if I can or not, guys. I'm sorry. You'll just have to take my word for it. Now you can kind of see it. There's blurry as all get out. But anyway, you'll have, this is low. This is very, very close to the edge. And then you got a very high spot in the bevel. And it corresponds with these little wavy and convexy areas. So I could probably even them up a little bit, at least right here. So for example, what I would do in this spot here is just take it, put the pressure right there on that spot. Just give it some movement, some pressure. And just like that, it brought it up a little bit. So I could do it some more, but there's no need because I'm gonna thin this out and I don't want to just needlessly waste, you know, metal. Because that's what we'll be doing. But yeah, I'm gonna thin out that whole bevel. I'll probably knock the shinogi back a little bit. So I'll probably bring this back just slightly more. And it'll be a little bit more even whenever I grind it up. And then shave that down pretty good. Got a good burr going there, front to back. Tip to butt. Yeah, it just bothers me that this dips in quite a bit. But again, even if I didn't thin it out, over probably 3, 4, 5 sharpening sessions, that will fix itself because it'll wear in. I could also lay it at a lower angle. So right now I'm probably roughly a 15-ish degree angle. If I kicked it back a little bit, I would 100% set in a new bevel and grind all that down. So, but I'm not going to do that. No need. do believe we're going to be able to move right along. Let's go ahead and do some deburring strokes. Oh crap, I do that all the time. I'll ding this thing on the end of this. Thank God that's plastic. I did it one time, several videos when I first started. I was dinging the crap out of my drill press, which this camera is hooked onto. I would get a new edge and I'd be like, oh my God. So I'm just gonna go with some light strokes. So I started doing this a little differently, and this is just a test. This is a low grit stone, so it probably doesn't even matter, right? But I'll show you what I've been doing with higher grit stones whenever I'm done, and I've had great success, and it kind of came from a mix of watching Yoshihiro Cutlery do their sharpening sessions. So this is not what they do, but I'll show you the second part of it. So I'll do this, and then just a couple real light strokes, right? And then I'll take it like I would before and just do an edge leading, but then I'll come right on back. I've got burr on there again. Don't want to gouge the stone, so I'm going to rinse that off. Since I've been doing that, I've not had any issues with retained burr. And then once again, just like that. And then edge leading, edge trailing. This isn't some revolutionary new thing. I'm not the first person to do that. It just is something I started doing simply because I wanted to see what happened. And when I did it, I spent less time on the strop. I spent less times requiring going to the strop. So, just saying. Now I'll just do edge leading. Again, this is a 320. Deburring on a 320, mostly not necessary, especially if you plan on moving up. I mean, you do need to knock the burr off, don't get me wrong, especially if you're going to test the edge. Typically, though, I would move up to, I don't know, 800, 1,000, and then on up. Gentle, light strizzokes. Okay. Real quick. Let's do this. Take this little guy, get her wet. Uh-oh. Clumsy. Yeah, this stuff, I'm telling you what. What an awesome, awesome find. It does a good job at making a slurry too on natural stones, as long as you get a smooth enough one. You can see there, pieces of the stone. Just pieces, well, you know. Rinsing it off there, obviously. But on my natural stones, man, it raises a great slurry. But I just make sure that I have the 400 or the 200 at least. Making sure that I don't scratch it and gouge it, because that 50 like put deep gashes in my natural stones. I didn't test it on my good ones like that one or something, but I did on a Chinese bluestone, an inexpensive one that showed up in the mail for free. I don't know if I told you guys that story, but I had ordered that on AliExpress, and the guy took my money 30 days or whatever it is before shipment, 14 days before shipment. Never received it. Then I said something about, hey, what's the deal? And this is like the day before AliExpress would cancel it. And anyway, he said, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And he marked it as shipped. Well, like a week and a half went by again, still no shipment. And then finally it just got automatically canceled. Like he had my money for like 30 days almost. Then he asked me if I would make the order again. I was like, no, I'm good. Anyway, he ended up sending me a stone anyway. So that's the stone I tried it on. Let's listen to it. Oh my gosh. Like, she's cutting big time. I'm just barely running over it, and that's insanity. Let's do the tip. Do a little push. It's a little louder, but that's fine. What I'm looking for, obviously, with the paper test is nothing more than, is it snagging in locations, and is it a super fat, chunky, toothy edge that makes a lot of noise? Is it a edge full of burrs that catches and snags, etc.? Can it push through clean? That means the edge is nice all the way through. You know, try the tip here. I did have a snag there. So what I'll do real quick is I'll just use some regular old leather here, buffalo leather. Can't wait to get that strop from Eric the Cajun Blade. That's my dude. I got a stone coming. If you're watching, Eric, what do you think about that Shiro Suita? If I told you I'd finally get me one. One way or another, man, I was going to find one. All right. Not even going to go to the diamond side. Just using the leather. Let me wipe that off real quick. Okay. Round 2. Fight. That was weird. What? I don't know what's going on here. Oh, it must have a little bit of a snag there somewhere. I'll look at it real quick. I thought I could do it without having... Well, let's remember too, this is a 320 grit edge. Oh yeah, we still got some hangers on. Yeah. Looks like razor wire. I'll do this one real fast, just because I want a clean slate, and I'm going to do paper towel. Use this Bocker or whatever, Boscher. Has this red compound and a black compound. Red compound, again, as always, supposedly has 2,000 grit. Black compound supposedly is 12,000 grit. I don't believe either one of them. I just know that they do indeed have grit, and they do indeed work. That's all I can tell you. I don't have a way to test grit, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a GoFundMe, and we're just gonna get some equipment, guys. We're gonna make this the proper Edgeworks studio. We're gonna get some equipment. We're gonna get some testing equipment. We're gonna get all the equipment. Okay. Please, no more funky noises. One more time. So that angle. Was it the paper? That's never happened before. That's just weird. Maybe it was the paper. We're making confetti, right? Oh, I see. Yeah, if I laid it too flat. So that has to do with that edge and catching. I get that, that's fine. Yeah, it'll push right on through, so. Oop. Oop. Yeah, so, yeah, rough edge. I'm gonna try this paper towel. Like I've always said, though, I'll never edit out those mistakes. We did get a clean cut. I can tell you right now, it's not gonna do this free hanging, though. Well, I did a little bit, but nope. Nope. It'll tear the crap out of it, though. I'm proud of you, paper. Anyway, there it is. So that's obviously not where I'm going to stop. The thing is am I going to continue to go on and put any more of an edge on it, or am I going to go ahead and thin it first? I think I'm going to thin it first. Feeling back here too, one of the things I wanted to say, especially with the grip I had on it, because like I said, I didn't get a chance to look at these very much. Actually, you can see that. Back here, you can see how roughly ground that is. Like, that feels like it's cutting my thumb. So, yeah. Again, $29. You're not going to beat that. Then you can make this however you want. This could be a practice knife, right? If you want to learn how to thin and you don't want to do it on your good knives, get one of these. You want to learn how to sharpen and you're not really proficient at it yet, you want to get better, get one of these. You want a knife that is a decent steel, but you know, you want to leave it upstairs for your wife to use so that you don't have to feel guilty if it gets left in the sink, get one of these. Simple as that. There's nothing wrong with this. And there's nothing you can't fix, if that makes sense. Great project knife. I wouldn't buy it to hang on a wall and call it a museum piece, but it does have a rustic look that I love. So anyway, that's it for this Tosa Santoku. We'll do the Nakiri, and then I will show you me thinning this. It's going to be loud, so what I'll probably do is B-roll, and I'll just make, you know, put some music or something over it, and I'll show you my thinning it on the belt sander that I have there, and we'll go from there. Then we'll do another sharpening. I'll put another edge on it, or I'll continue the edge depending on how it turns out when I thin it, right? So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in and giving me your support. We are almost at 1,000, guys. Almost there. I got some stuff that came in to give away for the 1,000. So that's going to be awesome for you guys. For me too. I love giving stuff away, right? Because you guys are what made me what I am. Couldn't do it without you. So again, I appreciate you guys' support so much. Make sure that you are a subscriber to the channel. If this is your first time, leave a comment down below to be entered in the giveaway. Doing that on Wednesday. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.